Get closer to that T area again. I mean, that's just keeps looking more and more interesting that this will probably have some strong wind move through it.
So if you are in southern Sioux Falls, I think at this point, take cover.
10-4, we're in the area. There's power out all over the place here. We'll make our way there.
It's going to be a little bit. We're getting swamped with calls right now.
Yeah, this is at Minnehaha Country Club. You can see the very heavy rainfall coming in.
For behavioral health, we're getting a call that they've been hit by a tornado and lost a roof. All units should go to the nearest fire station and take shelter.
We have a building collapse. The advanced auto parts store has got wall damage. We've got a building collapse.
10-4, I have another one too. 306. 10th and Cliff, there's stuff flying everywhere. I can't see anything.
Yeah, 10-4. Clear the radio unless you've got emergency traffic. We have tornadoes touching down.
Get in the basement!
Let's try to send something out to my family. Go ahead and get into the basement. That's what we should be doing here right now, as this tornado warning is for the Sioux Falls area right now.
This is a special report from KELOLAND TV.
Good morning, I'm Matt Holson with the KELOLAND News Special Report.
And I'm Scott Muntz. The report came in at 11:41 of a tornado touchdown on the south side of Sioux Falls, leaving behind a long trail of damage.
Sioux Falls police are urging people to stay home and stay off the roads while they assess the damage.
Yeah, and you look at these pictures and what we're gathering this morning. This is by far and away the most significant severe weather damage in the city of Sioux Falls in my career here, for sure.
This happened when it's dark, and it's still dark, so there's still a lot that we don't know until the sun comes out.
I'm sure we're going to be discovering a whole lot more here as we go through the morning.
Front door, I'm guessing. Here's my front door. Here's what's left of our living room. So tell me this again. So you were standing there. I was right here. Okay, so where were you at? I was coming out of the master bedroom. Come this way and then come right to me. And where did you get? Show me how you went downstairs. So I had the dog and I was right here when the whole roof blew off. And so then I jumped through the garbage, made it down, and miraculously my lab, who usually stays in the garage, he came through, and I didn't even see, he made it down there before I did, so that was a miracle. You didn't even make it downstairs? No. So it could have been a lot worse for us, for sure. Right about 11:30 I heard that telltale sign. It literally sounded like a freight train, and so I grabbed my little dog and was making my way to the basement when literally the house blew apart. I mean, it was just within seconds.
And most of the people that I've talked to today are talking about how scary the storm was, that they could feel the pressure change, that they could, that the noise was deafening. And so I think for a lot of people, they will always remember what that night was like.
We were way in the back of the kitchen, and you know, the wind hit the front here. It felt like a bomb went off, honestly. It blew in through our kitchen doors, and it was just a mess of glass and shrapnel and all kinds of stuff blowing into our kitchen.
When they say it's like a train coming through, it's not an exaggeration. It's the scariest sound I've ever heard in my life. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
When it was happening, I thought sure the roof came off because it came down and it went bang. It did not come off. Some people lost their roofs. I was very lucky, only lost 2 trees. Some people have lost many trees if you go around the neighborhood.
So we actually never stopped treating emergencies last night. And in the middle of the tornado, we had a patient who had a severe cardiac event and had his life saved right in the middle of the tornado.
We found out about it on the Lincoln News. They had a story down there, and then I ran up and got my phone. It's like 6 in the morning, and I saw that the neighbors had called. And so we called her, and she sent a picture and said, you need to get home.
I was on my way into town, and they said, Joe, the store is destroyed. But we have, there was a collapse from the building that went through the roof all the way to the ground. That's the debris here. And then the wind ripped part of our metal decked roof off and blew it across the alley into the neighbor's area. And so we actually have a bigger hole in the roof over here, but a more severe hole here because this took down the joists and things.
Terrible. Terrible. It's unreal. I can't describe it even. We had the ice storm in that several years back, but that doesn't compare to this.
Water's coming through the roof. We have a back room, like a east dining room. That's all underwater. Ceiling's gone. So I mean, it pretty much has shut us down.
Behavioral Health Hospital probably will not be open for another 3 to 6 months. So we're going to have to figure out how to handle our behavioral health patients. Some will stay on campus at Avera McKinnon, but we're working with state officials right now.
How long will it take? How long will all this take?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer to that, unfortunately. I think, I don't know.
We spent the morning just checking out a few of the harder hit areas of the city. Behind us, actually, right here on 41st, is one of the areas where I'm sending a lot of volunteers, and even if right behind us over there, that parking lot's full of debris yet. And so we got a lot of cleanup work.
As this thing was coming into Sioux Falls, you have, and this was the original area of rotation, just south of T. So this was as of 11/19. This came to the northeast and affected areas near 85th Street. Now, what we noticed, in addition to that, if you look really carefully, we're going to zoom down to the Heart Hospital. So here's 69th Street right here. If you go right there, do you see that little spot? I'll illustrate this. Okay, this is the Doppler, the green and the red right together. That is literally right over the Heart Hospital. There is a circulation that developed right there, and we think that this probably originated somewhere here in that southwestern part of town.
Neighborhoods in central Sioux Falls are riddled with damaged homes, apartments, downed trees, and downed power lines.
The city is no stranger to storm damage, but a tornado strike is considered pretty rare.
Well, check out this tree on Phillips Avenue. This is the type of damage why people are wondering, why didn't all the sirens go off last night?
The one thing that I want to personally address is the situation we have with our sirens. Honestly, what happened with the system is we just had a human error issue. Only some of our sirens were activated. So when that call from the Weather Service came to Metro,
I just want to credit the community too.
Partial number of our
had a
sirens
chance to
were
visit with a couple of residents this morning, looked at a couple of homes that were destroyed, and went out to Vera Behavior Health, and just reminded of the quality of the character and the people here in South Dakota, more particularly right today in Sioux Falls, but the way everybody stepped up and contributed and just did what needed to be done to make sure that people stayed safe and that there wasn't any loss as a result of this storm, which is really remarkable.